Press the bell icon on our YouTube app and never miss another video from SpotboyE.
We have with us, I don't think she needs an introduction, Katrina Kaif. Thank you so much for being on SpotboyE.
Thank you.
Katrina, let's be very honest right from the beginning. When you heard that you're not in this film, you've done 2 films with Ali, what was your first reaction? Did you say, oh no, I just want to do this one?
No, it actually felt right because you know when Ali was planning Bharat, we were in the Abu Dhabi schedule for Tigers and I. So it actually felt that very natural that, you know, Salman ke saath, his next film, it should be somebody else. You know, like you also try to not have too many back-to-back repetitions of 2 actors in a film. You know, it can be monotonous.
Yeah.
So it actually felt very right. I was like, oh, that's a good thing. It's a great idea. And that was it. Like it was forgotten, you know, it was like going on as normal.
Just took it as news.
Absolutely as normal. There was not even any particular interest or you know, attention that it took of my mind. And I guess some things just have a life of their own and some films just have a destiny of their own. And when Ali called me, actually, you know, it was a funny moment when Ali called me and told me that, you know, there's been a bit of some changes and I would like you to read the script. And he just said very honestly, you know, respond to the script, tell me if it works for you, and then we'll talk, you know, and then we'll figure out everything we need to, but just see first if the script and the character works for you. When I read it, I immediately called him up and I said, I just absolutely loved it. I really did. And with Ali, I've been very honest. Like there's been films and scripts which he's discussed with me, which I said it doesn't really work for me. And we have that equation. It's very open. It's not like he cannot say something to me or I cannot say something to him. We're very open and honest with each other. And I said, Ali, I loved the story, I loved the script, and I loved the character of Kumud. I absolutely loved it. I said, I'm on board. I'd love to play it. I just really want to get this right and take it up as a challenge. And let's do it. But what was funny was, I think it was, I want to say it was Manish, but I'm not sure. But one of our friends at YRF, so me and Ali were walking down the hall, and they were laughing at him. They were like, you know, "Ghoom phir ke, you had to come back to Katrina." So that was actually where everyone kind of cracked up and had a laugh about it.
Everybody wanted to know who is coming in.
Yeah, but for me and Ali, it was very normal and, you know, just a very simple conversation.
But you didn't feel any jittery, like 5 days to prepare, 7 days?
No, I don't know where this 5 days has come. I had 4 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Achha.
I had 4 weeks, and I had 4 weeks before the first schedule, which was perfect for me. It was enough. It was just the right amount of time. I had the right team with me. Immediately, the right people came into my life to work with me on the film, and I had the right support system. Went to Malta, did the first schedule, which was the young portion, which is the 20s portion of Kumud's character. And then there was a big gap between, I think there was another 3-week gap between the second schedule of the film. So in between that, I had a whole, you know, big chunk of time to prepare and then get into the older section, because the character goes into her 40s, into her 60s. And that mindset, that body language, I wanted to get it right, and I wanted to thoroughly understand it. So I actually had the perfect amount of time, and it was the only film I was doing. Besides the promotional break, which we took for Zero, which we took a full break. No shoot, no Ali was shooting, not Salman, not me. We took a full 20 days break, which was the December Christmas break anyways, right? That everyone has their holiday. And then we got back in January, and again before January there was another 10 days that I got back, did my preparation.
But you didn't feel that aging portion karna hai? You know, heroines are skeptical about playing the elderly part, and
not at all.
You had no reservations.
I was really looking forward to it, but I was very, very concerned about getting the look right. I was really, as soon as the Malta schedule got over, I was like, Ali, what do we do? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? You know, people get it so wrong, and then they do this to your face, and you look, you know, you look chubby, and he was like, okay, we'll get it right, Katrina, calm down, we're going to do it. And we went from Malta to London to meet this company called Millennium Effects. And they were the company who eventually came on board, and they had an intense, long meeting discussion with me and Ali. They did all my video, some 3D video scan they do of my face. They do a mold, which is like some plaster they put down your face, and it feels really suffocating, but they need to get all the bone structure. They took all the visual references from Ali. So Ali had given the references of Nafisa Ali ji, of Rekha, saying that, you know, I want to maintain this kind of elegance in the character. And of course, that was our ambition. It was a high ambition, but he was giving a good example, I felt. You know, the references were right.
You have to bring that little bit of sedate...
the elegance, but also that subtleness. It shouldn't look comedic, you know. And in today's day and age, you really have to get things right. You know, now with the international exposure that is there, we have direct comparison to every big Hollywood film. So that was a big challenge for us. And we did, I think, 3 days of look tests. In the 3 days that we tried each look in detail on camera with the team from London, and I was really happy with it. I was super satisfied, and I didn't think that would happen. That came as a surprise to me, that I would actually be comfortable and happy when I was fully ready as the, you know, Kumud in her 60s, and that was something I enjoyed. What was
Salman's first reaction when he saw you in that getup, and what was your reaction when you saw him in that elderly getup?
I mean,
anything
for him,
like you cracked
up, the beard and a guy, it's a little more, less transformative. But for me, I felt very good in that look. I felt in character, and Salman thought the look looked great, and Ali was very happy with it, so that was nice.
But there's a lot of confidence in you. I mean, when you speak to me today, and you know, I have mentioned it to you last time also in Zero, you have really come into your own. I mean, forget how much the movie collects, or I really loved your performance in Zero. I'll be very candid about it.
Thank you.
So what has this changed? I mean, suddenly you know, you just have opened up. I mean, it's not that you had inhibitions, but you really seem to have the output on screen is far more. Has anything you have really done, changed, focused in a different way?
I just think you grow as you gain experience, and as you're in a particular profession for that amount of time, you want to grow, you want to learn more, you want to become better, you want to take it a step further. There was a time where I thought that I would not still be acting, and my interest kind of was in another direction. And then when I found myself very clearly that no, you are still acting and you're still on a set, I wasn't really happy. You know, I was a little bit, it was monotonous to me. It was becoming a little boring and repetitive, and I was not inspired. And then I wanted to look and investigate for myself, like, why am I feeling like this? How can I get a better connection?
So what did you investigate? What did you find?
I started just trying to figure out that spending some time with certain people, doing some workshops and stuff like that, and just finding different techniques and different ways that I can connect myself more to my work, connect myself more to the characters I do in my films, and make sure I have a deeper connection to it when I go on set.
Yeah, but you also had a couple of friends like Karan, and your motivation kept going, and you know, the audience didn't fail you, the audience didn't give up on you. There was a period where you know, the movies were not doing well, but the audience kept the faith in you.
No, definitely. I think I owe a huge debt of gratitude to the audience that have supported me, I think, along my whole journey. Now, you know, now that initial years where you come in and you have that uncertainty of, you know, kya hoga, now that you know, you pass those times, I have a huge debt of gratitude for the audience that have, I think, given me a huge amount of support every step of the way.
But you attribute it also to your mom. I read that, you know, your mom cheered you up and really brought you back into your, you know, being your own. Because she told you you're not the only one who's, you know, who's had a breakup, and I mean, did that really, was she instrumental in that?
It's not just that. I know a lot of you know, stuff is said. It's not one thing. At the end of the day, you have to do it for yourself. You know, you have to pick yourself back up, and also you have to let time take its course also. You can't want to just rush something, you know. You have to let yourself settle in and, you know, find that rhythm again.
So you allowed the time to...
Yeah, I think whether I allowed it or not, it took its own time, you know, did it on its own.
But you know what I felt was when I read that piece where you attributed it to your mom, I felt that you were being a little more cruel to yourself. You said, you know, I could have done better. But you know, aren't you trying to be forgiving and, I mean, let me be very frank, and you think that, you know, it takes two hands to clap. You're trying to be very forgiving, you're trying to be very magnanimous. Don't you think so?
See, I think you've put it across very rightly. It takes two hands to clap.
Yeah.
So whatever responsibility and whatever the other hand needs to think or feel, that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is what I did with my hand. So I think it's just about taking responsibility for what your part to play, for my actions, for my part to play. And that doesn't mean there is no other responsibility to be taken, but that's not my concern anymore. You know, now that another person's response, another person's journey, another person's path is their own. I don't have any part to play in that anymore. So what I do have a part to play in, and what I can have a control over, or I can have a deciding role in, is my part, is what's happening in my life. Well, not everything is in our hand, but at least there's a lot that's in my hand. My behavior is in my hand, my responses are in my hand.
It's very good to see you coming back with Akshay also in Suryavanshi. You know, there was a phase when we thought that that Jodi is over.
Yeah.
I don't know why they are not coming back together. I don't know what were the reasons, but how did this one happen?
We were just doing other films, you know, and I think there was just there was no thought about it then. There was no thought about it now. It just happened.
With Rohit.
Yeah, it just happened together, and me and Rohit sir have been talking about working together for a long time. Like, I've been interacting with him right from the second film he did. I mean, right from, it was something, that film was it Family something? Sunday. One of his earlier films, and we've been in touch on and off, and I think there's a science behind his films, and he knows his audience, and he knows what he wants his audience to feel, and it was a fun role, and coming with Akshay again, and it's nice, you know, like, there's a lot of laughter and fun on the set, and you know.
But there were never any films in between which you got with the two of you, it didn't materialize, or I mean, such a long period.
There were a few films, but they just weren't the right films, I guess. You know, like, for something or another, it wasn't quite right.
Yeah. So you have to obviously take the call.
Yeah. Either he takes it, or I mean, you discuss it and you say, not this one. You know, let this one go. So
Tiger 3 also again with Salman?
You know, this Tiger 3 thing is really like what do you call it? Pre-jaldi. It's
counting your chickens before the eyes.
Not that, it's just that it's too early. It's way too soon, I think, to discuss anything like that. See, Tiger as a franchise is a franchise now. It's been established as a franchise, like Dhoom franchises. So Dhoom 3 came, what, 2014, so 5 years ago. And Tiger Zinda has come 2 years ago now. So these franchises, they lend themselves to taking the story forward, and I think you can take the story forward in so many incredible ways. But there's everything has to fall into place, and there's a lot of factors that have to fall into place.
The anticipation is so high, I think it gives lead to a lot of speculation.
I think so, yeah. I mean, but it's natural. People are always asking about sequels, and it's a natural thing to ask about. And you know, when there's a lot of, that's all those, it'll happen when it needs to happen. Right now, I think Bharat is the focus.
I have just come back reading Filmfare in the car which I was traveling.
Well, Jitesh should be very happy to hear that.
Yes, he should be. He's been a lot being spoken about him on social media after Cannes. But I read I'm single, and yes, you are. So where do all these speculations start from? Vicky Kaushal to, there was so much happening.
You know what I wanted to say about this whole...
how does this 2 and 2 become 4.5, 5?
It doesn't even matter. My thought on it is really this. How it does, rumors, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's part and parcel of our life. Especially me and you have had a long history with, you know, this article and that article, and now I have that maturity to understand that all that matters is the work that you do. That's what's going to make you sustain. That's what the audience love you for, or that's what they judge you on, is the work. The movies you're doing is what matters. All of the rest of this, it comes and it goes, and it's part and parcel of the job. It's part and parcel of being an actor. We chose this when we chose to come into the spotlight. Like, there are a lot of people, like some of my sisters, they ask me, like, oh my God, I would never want to be in the spotlight, and they hate their picture being taken. Like, they hate their picture being taken, and it's a very genuine feeling. There are some people who want to live their life in that peace, you know.
I mean, literally every 5 minutes, something is being written about you.
But that's our choice, you know, as an actor, like right from, you know, you look at, you know, Marilyn Monroe, and when was that, the 40s or something, that is the nature of being an actor. You have to live and accept and make peace with public speculation. Some days it will be good, some days it will be loving, some days it will be, you know, truthful, some days it will be not truthful. I think it was Madonna that yesterday or day before, just a few days back, she put something on her Instagram, something to the effect of that, like, you know, I've been loved, I've been adored, I've been hated, I've been everything in between, and now I'm, you know, I'm okay with everything. And that's what I think an actor needs to come to terms with. If you're lucky, you will just be loved. If you're lucky, you will just have all the, you know, the positive side of it.
You are being loved. I think the maximum maturity, which, as I conclude, I must say that, you know, you showed when you just, you know, embraced Alia, and, you know, you've never been any cribbing about anything. I mean, that's the highest sign of maturity, Katrina.
You know,
really,
a lot of people feel that,
and I don't think you're faking it, because I know you, as you said, we know each other.
It's very simple, you know, rather than trying to analyze it, which is not what I do. Just do what feels good. If you feel good about standing and feeling anger towards someone, by all means, please stand and feel angry and tell me if you feel good about it. And some people might, but to me, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. I'd rather look for love. I'd rather look for happiness. I'd rather look for friendship rather than animosity.
You're again saying something very mature.
No, okay.
I'm feeling, I don't know what. Thank you so much for being on SpotboyE.